Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, my question is to the Premier. Where I come from, talk is cheap, and promises are only as good as the politicians who make them. In the 2 years since the Premier made a pre-election visit to Kitchener to promise all-day two-way GO service within 5 years, a promise the Transportation Minister admitted was aspirational in nature, we've had nothing but talk. The 2016 budget provides the latest example, full of shout-outs to Kitchener-Waterloo transit enhancements without once indicating timelines for project completions. Just more talk.
No
Speaker, a budget is where governments list their detailed spending plans and timelines, and yet all we get is talk. Will the Premier tell us why the people of Kitchener should believe her promise on all-day two-way GO when it didn't even make its way into the budget?
Minister of Transportation.
Thanks very much, Speaker. I want to thank the member opposite for his question. I want to begin by saying, of course, Budget 2016, in fact, Speaker, in many respects, is fundamentally about how important it is for us to build this province up by investing billions of dollars in infrastructure, in transit and transportation infrastructure, both in the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area and beyond, Speaker, in communities like Kitchener-Waterloo. Speaker, I should also mention that it's because of MPPs like the member from Kitchener Centre and the member from Cambridge and this Premier and this Finance Minister that, Speaker, this government is going to get it right. We are getting it right. That member knows that in April of last year, Premier Kathleen Wynne announced that we'd invest $13.5 billion over the next decade to transform the GO rail network on all 7 of our corridors, Speaker, and that member, again, consistently has voted against budget after budget after budget that will help his own community. Thanks very much, Speaker.
Unbelievable. Well, Speaker, the talk continues.
Chief.
After waiting...
Talk.
You can risk. Supplementary, please.
After waiting 2 years for promised essential GO improvements and getting little more than talk, Kitchener residents are still left waiting for the train. We've grown weary watching government transit expansions go forward elsewhere while we're stuck at the back of the bus. Speaker, we were hoping the budget would provide new direction, but instead we saw new ways to tax us with no timelines on our local transit needs.
Zero.
Yet, one day later, Kitchener Centre MPP tried to make amends, telling CTV there will be a very substantial announcement on all-day two-way GO before the summer. Speaker, will the Premier please tell us what was so substantial about this supposed announcement that it didn't make its way into the budget?
Well, Speaker, I relish questions like this because, of course, this Premier and this government and the member from Kitchener Centre and everybody on this side of the chamber understands why it's important for us to invest the money to make sure, to invest the billions of dollars to make sure that we build the province up, that we expand GO Transit, that we build highways and roads and bridges and so much more, Speaker. And I think it might be helpful, maybe even a little bit instructive, for that member who's asked this question, Speaker, to stroll on down to the front bench and ask his leader, Patrick Brown, why in almost 10 years...